Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Macabre and welcome back to my movie library. Today I thought we'd do something fun and I've been wanting to do more ranking videos and I finally got the idea to do this one, so I figured we'll go ahead and do it. As you can tell by the title of the video, we're going to rank the 6 George Romero zombie films from my least favorite to favorite. Now, remember, this is not an official, like, definitive list or anything like that. All this is just my personal opinion. And truth be told, there's not one of I might feel like some of the movies are a little bit better than others, but I will say that there's not one of them that I do not like. I know some people, when it comes to the 6 Romero zombie movies, I know some people just do not like Diary of the Dead or Survival of the Dead or something like that. Like I said, there might be some I don't like as much as others, but there's not one that I feel like I outright hated. So, take a drink first. Now, before we get ready, I just wanted to show you real quick. I thought this was kind of cool. Show you my, well, excuse me a second. I'm going to show you my vinyl for some of the Romero zombie movies that I have, and it's like one of them decided to escape this one here, the record decided to escape the cover, but here we go. Yep, this is actually Dawn of the Dead, but as you can tell, it's with the Italian lettering, but it is Goblin, Zombie, but it is actually, see, you can tell, see right there, George A. Romero. But yeah, this is the soundtrack for Dawn of the Dead. But love this soundtrack, amazing. So decided to show this, some of my other ones. Let's see here. I got go ahead and grab this one too while I'm at it. This is the other version of the Dawn of the Dead soundtrack. So this one here is basically, this is all the, this is like all the library music and, like the mall music and stuff like that was used for the film. And so, yeah, and I was really lucky. This one cost a pretty penny, but boy, it was worth it. So be able to get to have this one. Hang on. Ugh, damn it. So there we go. Then beautiful gatefold in here. Oh. Hopefully you can see all that. Flip it around to the other side. This is amazing. I love these records. So, but yeah, that's the other Dawn of the Dead soundtrack. Now, thanks to my brother, I got the Day of the Dead vinyl soundtrack. This is amazing. I love this here. I don't know how he manages to do it, but he keeps finding these records, and I keep getting them for presents, so I mean, I'm definitely not going to complain, but look at that. Super cool. And finally, I got this one for last Christmas. We have Night of the Living Dead vinyl. I don't know if there's one for Land of the Dead. I'm pretty sure there's not one for Diary or Survival, but I need to look and see if there's like a vinyl soundtrack for Land of the Dead. But, there we go. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. Now let's get into the real reason why we're all here. Like I said, of course, I always get to the main part when it's like 5 minutes in. I always do that. But yeah, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the Real reason we came here, we're going to, this is just, like I said, this is only my personal opinion, my personal ranking, and I don't expect everybody to agree with me. This is just my personal choice, okay? So here we go. 6 Romero zombie movies, which personally I wish we could have gotten more, but, I'm happy we got what we got. As far as I'm concerned, quality while it lasted. Okay, now starting with my least favorite, and this doesn't really give me pleasure to say it, but yeah, probably my least favorite, I would have to go to Survival of the Dead. There are parts of this movie that I enjoy, but I think the biggest reason why it ends up being on my least favorite is because, when Romero made his zombie movies, it's like, yeah, he did put in the action, there would be blood and gore, some humor, all this other kind of stuff. But usually, there was always some kind of a social commentary, or there was always some kind of like a social messaging that he wanted to put into his films. And this movie, there's really nothing like that. This is more of like a Hatfield versus McCoy kind of a thing. And it feels like, this is more of like a zombie comedy. There's a lot of humor in this movie, and I get the feeling that Romero possibly, I don't know if he just decided he wanted to, or maybe he felt pressure because, excuse me, that all of a sudden the zombie comedies were starting to become a big thing. Shaun of the Dead, Zombies, Cockneys versus Zombies, so on and so forth. And maybe he felt like he had to contribute his own, or sorry, either he had to contribute his own, or he felt like he had to, felt like maybe he was being pressured to do it or something. But and also too, this, as far as effects go, there's way too much CGI in this, way too little practical effects. And so, yeah, so just kind of the whole thing. And like, there's really no kind of message or anything like that he was trying to convey with this movie. And it just kind of feels, it's just not the best one. And the problem is like, to go to all this CGI blood and CGI effects and everything. Like, after we've been spoiled, primarily by Tom Savini's special effects, and then wind up with, go from Tom Savini's special effects to K&B special effects to just going into all this digital effects. Yeah, it just kind of really didn't, do it very well, did it? But anyway, so yeah, if I had to pick a least favorite, it would probably have to be Survival of the Dead. Next up, this one almost edged out Survival, but this one I think is slightly better, and that is Diary of the Dead. And I think because this feels a little bit more like a Romero zombie movie, and now I know a lot of people weren't really keen with the whole kind of found footage technique and everything that was used for the film, but I do appreciate that Romero, like, I understood what he was going for. I know some people felt that Zombie Diaries kind of did it a little bit better, but I appreciate that, he was trying to, give some social commentary about how, people's reliance on social media, people's reliance on technology and things like this. And basically one theme that definitely does occur over and over again in the film is the scenes where the Jason character is, instead of helping people when shit is going down, he would rather stand there and film it, and talking about how scary of an idea that is, that we were headed with technology and everything else, that people were more interested in the idea of, like, if somebody was hurt or somebody was in an accident or something like that, rather than help them, they would rather just stand there and film it so they could upload it later. And talking about what kind of a scary idea that was, and like what kind of a dark alley that was taking all of us down. So, so I get what he was going for. So, I think because of that, and also too, we did have we were going more into the digital effects, but we still had some really good practical, Greg Nicotero and Howard Berger effects. So, so yeah. So to me, this one does kind of edge out Survival of the Dead, and also too a lot of the fun voice cameos in here. There's Tom Savini, there's Stephen King, there's Quentin Tarantino, there's Simon Pegg, there's Guillermo del Toro, and all that. So I think also too that's a lot of fun. So, so yeah, just but overall, yeah, I do think I enjoy Diary of the Dead just slightly more than I do Survival. So there you go. So that's 6. That's 5. Now down to number 4. I know some people this is probably going to feel blasphemous, but just kind of hear me out. Number 4, I'm going to go with Night of the Living Dead. And, don't get me wrong, I do love this movie. I do appreciate it. I respect it for what it is. And I understand that, we would not have zombies as we know them today were it not for this movie. And you have to appreciate the circumstances under which this movie was made and everything else about it. But just, it's okay, I do like the film. God knows I got enough copies of it. But, I do think in my personal opinion, I know a lot of people say that the zombies look more like regular people in this. And they got, they look like regular people. They just kind of got like the raccoon eyes and stuff. To me, I think the zombies this is probably the movie where the zombies look the scariest. Because I think that's why, because they look like normal people. And to me, that's a really frightening concept in and of itself. If, you're going up to somebody that you think is normal, that there's nothing wrong with them, but turns out that they are a zombie, they're infected, and that they come after you. I think that that's a scary idea. So, but, yeah, but I mean, I do love this movie. And I do appreciate it for what it is. It's just, I don't know, it's just not my favorite, just some of the other ones I like a little bit more. So, but anyway, still. So yeah, for my number 4 is going to be Night of the Living Dead. So, there you go. Number 3, we're already down to 3. And like I said, this may be kind of a controversial view for some people, but for me, number 3 is going to be Land of the Dead. And I think the reason why is because it's like when I was kind of like going like Night of the Living Dead, Land of the Dead, to me, it's just that Land of the Dead has a little bit more replay value in just the sense that it's more fun. It's more, it's not really scary. I mean, there's a lot of humor and stuff in it, but just, it's incredibly entertaining. I love a lot of the fight action sequences and stuff. Some of the characters in this movie are really fun. I like the Charlie character. Riley is a good character. And also too, kind of cool to see. I just have a lot of fun seeing like what Romero could have done with a big budget and a studio behind him. Even though I know like it really didn't work out very well. One of the big things that always bugged the hell out of me though was, and I talked about this, back on my old channel when I did the 4K review for this movie. One thing that always bugged me was when they released this movie, it was in 2005. And I remember they put this out in the theaters in summer of 2005, which made absolutely, at the time, it didn't make any sense to me. I was so happy. It's like, oh man, we got a new Romero zombie movie, all this kind of stuff. And, but the problem was the movie came out and didn't do well in theaters. And I think it kind of flopped. Excuse me. And at the time I was like, this is so absurd because, it's like, why would you put this movie out at this time? Like it was in the summer where, you had, Star Wars episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I believe one of the Harry Potter movies was out at that time. I want to say Goblet of Fire, maybe. Let's see, what else? There was other movies too. This movie had competition thanks to Rob Zombie's movie, The Devil's Rejects, and stuff like this. And so I was really, really bummed out that, that this movie didn't do as well as it should have. And I was thinking to myself, instead of putting this stupid thing out, well, not stupid thing, don't get me wrong, this movie's amazing, it's wonderful. If they didn't put this movie out in the summertime and put it out at Halloween, that would have made far more sense, but they didn't do that. However, months later, they did put the DVD out right around the time of, right around Halloween time. And I definitely remember like going into Blockbuster stores and the DVD was always checked out. And, go into a Walmart or something like that, they could not keep the DVD on the shelves. It was just flying off. Everybody, left, right, and center, everybody was buying it. And I think that, it definitely helped this movie. And I'm kind of wondering maybe if that was what their goal was or if that's just the way it was supposed to happen. But yeah, the movie definitely did find its audience. But yeah, just, I love a lot of the effects in it. I love, some of the, I love the Tom Savini cameo. I love, the K&B effects work, some of the characters are fun. Dennis Hopper made a fun villain. It was kind of cool to see him play this kind of like really subdued kind of villain and stuff. But that was cool. John Leguizamo, his character as Cholo was fun. Ozzy Argento is smoking hot, so that definitely helps. But, yeah, just I really enjoyed this movie. It was a lot of fun. You got the blood, the gore, you got some fun action scenes, everything else. Dead Reckoning is a pretty cool truck. And, like right there, you got Gene Clark, you got Simon Pegg zombie, you got Edgar Wright zombie because, it was a little, George Romero brought them on to do a cameo after Shaun of the Dead became such a big hit. So that was cool. But anyway, so yeah, so just to me, this movie has a little bit more rewatch value over Night of the Living Dead, but don't get me wrong, I still appreciate and respect Night of the Living Dead, but so yeah, so for number 3, it's going to have to be Land of the Dead. Okay, yeah, I think we kind of know where this is heading, but number 2, yeah, we have Day of the Dead from 1985. I really do need to upgrade to the Scream Factory Blu-ray, because that's probably going to be about as good as we're ever going to get. From what I've heard, that they can't really get the film elements to do a good 4K transfer for this. And, I've been rocking the Anchor Bay Blu-ray for a long, long time. And even though I have bonus features on here, the Scream Factory has more bonus features. But even though I'm pretty sure the transfer is about the same. But, yeah, just Day of the Dead definitely, to me, has tons of replay value. The Bub zombie is a lot of fun right there. Bub. Just, I love the 3 heroes in the movie. Sarah, John, and Billy. Dr. Logan was a lot of fun. Tom Savini at the pinnacle of some of his special effects work. I mean, just, my God, just so amazing. Probably some of, if not the best zombie effects ever done in a movie. I know for people who complained about the effects work in Dawn of the Dead, I think it's definitely fair to say that Savini definitely made up for it with the special effects in this movie. Of course, you got Joe Pilato there as Rhodes. Like one of the best villains in a movie ever. Joe got him! Joe got him! But yeah, this movie just has a ton of rewatch value to me, and it's just great, just so good. I know Romero considered this probably his favorite movie. I really would have loved to have seen what his big epic, kind of like, because they talked about how like the original script was like a phone book. It was like 200 pages or something like that. I really wish we could have seen like what that would have ended up being like, to see the ultimate like epic zombie film, But still, I love Day of the Dead. I love some of the effects. Some of the zombies are really cool in here. And just, yeah, just amazing. Day of the Dead. So, for my number 2, yeah, Day of the Dead, man. Just, great score as well. Just a lot of fun stuff in this movie. And Sarah, Laurie Cardell's character, definitely one of my, probably probably my favorite female lead out of the zombie films, to be honest. Just I really love her character. She's strong, but she does have her vulnerable moments and stuff like that. But so anyway, so yeah, Day of the Dead number 2, which obviously brings us to number 1, which is going to be Dawn of the Dead. This to me is just the best zombie movie of all time, which is why I do have the Second Sight. Is that Second Sight? Yeah, Second Sight 4K. But I still can't bring myself to get rid of my Anchor Bay DVD set, which is still one of the best DVD sets ever put out. I just love this movie. I know I watched this movie at an age where I probably shouldn't have been watching it, but just as a kid seeing it, it's like I was just transfixed. I was transported into this movie. It had everything you can want. You got zombies, you got chase, stuff going on in the mall. You got the great big war at the end of the film with the zombies, the bikers, the SWAT team. Just action galore, some great humor, still some pretty cringeworthy gore scenes and stuff like that. It's like Tom Savini was great. Not only did he do the effects, but he also acted in the movie, and oh man, that's what I was saying. Just this movie as a kid. Like, this movie to me just seemed like it had everything you could want in a movie. The fun, the action, the blood and gore, the shootouts, the chases, driving around in a mall, in a car, and, riding around on motorcycles in a car, and just everything about it, man. Just, oh my God. This is a movie, man. I wish, I know the kind of the extended director's cut, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Man, I wish this could have been 4 hours, but still, to see what George Romero did with so much imagination, and then also too about the social commentary about consumerism and capitalism, things like that. But just, oh man. And the characters were so great. The Peter character was amazing, It was nice after the very bleak, downer ending of Night of the Living Dead that this movie, we get a little bit more of an uplifting ending, which was really cool. It was nice to see Fran and Peter live at the end of the movie. So, but yeah, just everything about this movie works. It's like, I know that some people consider Zombie, Lucio Fulci's Zombie a better movie than this, but while I do like Fulci Zombie, it is a great film. It's like, I'm sorry, just to me, Dawn of the Dead, this is the ultimate zombie movie in my opinion. So anyway, so yeah, my number 1, Dawn of the Dead. See up there too. So, excuse me. So anyway, so that's gonna do it. Yeah, we've so number 1, Dawn of the Dead. 2, Day of the Dead. 3, Land of the Dead. 4, Night of the Living Dead. 5, Diary of the Dead. And 6, Survival of the Dead. So that's going to do it. So hopefully, if anybody took the time to watch all this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please leave it a like? And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And this was fun. Can't wait to do another one in the near future. So that's it, everybody. Take care. Have a good night. See you all later.